There's something a little dangerous about the illusion of chaos. When a fighter thrives in the unpredictability, when their style bends the rules of rhythm, of clean form, and what good is supposed to look like, it becomes easy to believe that they're untouchable, that no matter how ugly it gets, that they'll find a way to win. And that's kind of the story surrounding Dricus du Plessis right now. He's the UFC's ultimate outlier, the funky, grasping, cartoony champion who keeps making the elite look human. But that story ends on August 16th. Because across the cage at UFC 319 will be Khamzat Chimaev, the one fighter who doesn't just overwhelm his opponents, he utterly erases them. And while a lot of people are hyping this up to be some type of 50-50 clash of styles or whatnot, the truth is a lot much simpler. There are levels to this game, and Khamzat Chimaev doesn't just operate on a different level, he might just exist on a different stratosphere entirely. And look, this isn't about disrespect at the end of the day, it's just about reality. And once those cage doors close, reality is going to hit fast, violent, and unforgiving. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share so it can help me reach 3,000 subscribers by May. I'll deeply appreciate you. And make sure you join the official UFC Discord, link in the description. Alright, so look, there's this growing narrative building around UFC 319's main event. You know, the matchup that, on the surface level, kind of seems razor close, but in reality, just isn't. Dricus du Plessis, the current UFC middleweight champion, is riding high off of a string of improbable wins. I mean, he's awkward, unpredictable, and cartoonish in form, but undeniably effective. And, you know, fans and analysts alike are treating this fight with Khamzat Chimaev as if it's some type of 50-50 toss-up. And it's quite easy to understand why. I mean, Dricus du Plessis has made a bit of a habit of proving people wrong time and time again. He beat Robert Whittaker when no one gave him the chance. He stopped Israel Adesanya in a way that shocked the entire MMA world. And he even survived and outworked Sean Strickland twice. But here's the truth that a lot of people don't want to say out loud. This fight just isn't close whatsoever. And on August 16th, when those cage doors close and Bruce Buffer is shouting "and new" at the top of his lungs, all the revisionist confidence in Dricus du Plessis will vanish in an instant, because Khamzat Chimaev is not like these other middleweights. He's a nightmare matchup, and this is the fight where we're finally going to get to see the gap between being gritty and being unstoppable. And look, let's be clear. I respect Dricus du Plessis to its maximum, and this isn't any hate. I mean, he's proven a lot of people wrong time and time again and deserves all the credit in the world, but there's also a level of delusion settling in. I mean, a narrative has even formed around DDP that says, you know, no matter how things are going, he just finds a way to win. Dricus via falling piano, right? And sure, he's done it before, but MMA isn't magic. It's math, pressure, as well as skill, and when you look at the ingredients here, it's very clear that Dricus doesn't have the tools he needs in order to survive Khamzat Chimaev's early onslaught, let alone win this war. But first, let's talk grappling. Dricus du Plessis has a 50% takedown defensive rate in the UFC, and that's not just low, it's alarming. And while that number might not tell the entire story, the tape still does. I mean, go back and watch the Derek Brunson fight. Derek Brunson took Dricus du Plessis down within the first 30 seconds of that fight and flattened him out and controlled him with absolute ease. Dricus looked lost trying to scramble and even panicked, and while he eventually got up and won that fight, that was Derek Brunson we're talking about. A good but fading wrestler who quite literally retired right after that fight. Now, imagine that same sequence, but it's Khamzat Chimaev on top of you this time. You know, bigger, stronger, more violent, and a lot more technical. Dricus hasn't faced someone like a Khamzat since that Derek Brunson fight, and since then, he's been fighting almost exclusively strikers. And that matters. Why? Because the muscle memory, the comfort of not needing to worry about the takedowns, the ability to plot slow, and the awkward game plan, none of that will hold up against the storm that Khamzat's going to bring into that octagon on August 16th. But let's break it down plainly. Dricus wins his fight with his cardio, his toughness, his timing, as well as his pressure. But none of those attributes are gonna mean much when you aren't able to stay standing. I mean, grappling at the elite level isn't something you can just tough your way out of. And once Khamzat Chimaev gets on top, it's a whole completely different world. And, unlike Derek Brunson, Khamzat Chimaev doesn't just, try to control you. He's always looking for that finish. And, he breaks people and makes these elite fighters look like absolute amateurs. I mean, look no further than what he did to Marty from Nebraska. Even on short notice, even while cutting hard to make weight, Khamzat Chimaev dominated the early rounds with absolute ease. And, say what you want about Marty, not being in his normal weight class or whatever. His defensive grappling as well as his elite cage IQ are among the best of the best in the entire UFC. But that ain't it. Look what Chimaev did to Bobby Knuckles. He took him down past that guard and threatened a finish within the very first round. And, against a guy who is known for his incredible anti-wrestling, no one ever made Robert Whittaker look that helpless. Not Izzy, not Kelvin Gastelum, not even the Soldier of God, but just Khamzat Chimaev. And a lot of people just keep clinging on Dricus' weirdness as if it's some type of secret weapon or something. But let's be honest right now. Fighting like a Looney Tunes character just isn't the smartest long-term blueprint whatsoever. And, it's worked well because he's not only tough, he's got good heart, but because a lot of these middleweights at the top 5 just aren't able to exploit that very weakness. But Khamzat Chimaev just isn't a Sean Strickland. He isn't Israel Adesanya, standing at range and respecting Dricus' unorthodox movement. He's going to crash through that door, shoot, slam, flatten out, and bounce his head off of that canvas floor until the refs stop it or Dricus just gives that neck. Pause. And even if this somehow goes into the second or third rounds, does anyone actually believe that Dricus is winning extended grappling exchanges with Khamzat Chimaev? Does anyone believe that actually? I mean, he doesn't have the get-ups, he doesn't have the jiu-jitsu defense, and he's not the guy sweeping from bottom or threatening arm bars. He's just gonna get stuck, and that's when Khamzat will start pouring it all on. He's gonna lose this fight. And while, Dricus has beaten some of the best, and were some of them former champs, of course, but we have to remember that styles make fights, and this one's tailor-made in order to expose them. And, Khamzat is everything Dricus has struggled with, just at a much higher level. And while Dricus does thrive in that chaos, Khamzat is that chaos. And he doesn't just, give you time to be awkward. He doesn't give you time to be funky. He's gonna suffocate you, drown you, and destroy you. So let's stop pretending that this fight's gonna be some type of coin toss. Let's stop acting like toughness alone is gonna be enough. And when August 16th comes around, Khamzat Chimaev is going to remind everyone what a dominant, smothering force looks like. He's going to bulldoze through the weirdness and take that belt and end the Dricus hype train in a violent, utterly violent fashion. And, that wasn't just a prediction. This is inevitability. That is why I've got Khamzat Chimaev by first round submission finish against Dricus Still Knocks Du Plessis. Welcome to the era of the Boers. But that's all I've got to say for this video. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys have to say about UFC 319's fight between Dricus Still Knocks Du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev? Let me know who you guys have coming out on top in this matchup and who's going to be the one holding the belt on top of their heads at the end of the night. Let me know in the comment section below. But that about wraps up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.